My name is Nicole Basilone. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I completed my undergraduate degree from Maryland Institute College of Art and Design. The first 2 years I spent in a quaint and tiny up satellite campus of Pratt called Pratt Munson Williams Proctor with about 60 students, and I'm still close with many of them. My upbringing and education has influenced how I create and I see art. The formal education allowed me a foundation to make work and a practice that I was able to forge and learn and develop skills that otherwise could have taken me longer in adult life. There's a specific point in my childhood when I remember my mother taking me to a lot of museums, and I was very interested in a Van Gogh piece. I was about the age of 10. I can't say exactly where. I think in Washington, D.C. for a family vacation, and I was quite captivated by that piece. There are many elements to my childhood, how I was raised, that kind of influenced my work. Looking back, I was raised in New Jersey in the suburbs, middle class, had access to New York City galleries by the time I was in high school, had a good art program, and I was raised going to Catholic school, and that kind of always influenced in me a way, even though I don't practice it now. I think just being raised in that environment significantly influences the work that I make now. My largest influences are Sarah Hughes, Bonnard, and William de Kooning. Right now in the studio, I have been focused on scaling up my work. It's been a year since I've been at the studio at Manna Contemporary. I share the space with a fellow artist and career person, Daniel Morowitz, and we've been in the studio for about a year now. And I'm able to make really large work, so that's one of the big benefits of this space. It's also just a great space to practice art at, because it's an artist community and there's several residencies running out of it, but I'm really focused on large work. So I just finished the largest painting I've ever made, that's 84 by 124 inches. And I'm going to continue to make larger work this year, but at the moment I've scaled down a little bit so that I can scale back up again. I think the largest challenge being an artist is making it affordable, finding a way to afford a studio, to pay that rent, to continue making larger work, because there's definitely moments where art doesn't pay the bills, and it puts you in kind of this existential crisis where you have to figure out how is it going to pay the bills, and how do you continue to live your day-to-day by making time to be an artist. I'd say after money, time is the other biggest challenge. To my younger self, I would just say have more fun doing art, and to not worry too much about what other people think about how art is going to make you money or how you're going to make a career out of it. I think there was a lot of pressure when I decided that this was what I wanted to do from my family, that I would never make money doing it. And that's definitely changed now that I'm in my early 30s. But it was something that was a bit of a sore point in my teenage years when I decided that this was something I wanted to do seriously, and this was what I was going to go to school for. The most unconventional thing I've tried in art was right after I finished undergraduate school. I went to Vermont Studio Center in January of 2012, and I stretched a large canvas just to the wall of my studio, about 8 feet by 10 feet, and it was a painting I was kind of quite happy with. But then I cut the painting up into many pieces and made an installation out of it that I actually presented for my thesis show in the spring at Maryland Institute College of Art and Design. I'd say that was the most unconventional thing I've ever done with painting. In the studio, it's kind of a combination of talking with my studio mate Daniel, having music in the background, and sometimes when I'm alone, I also listen to podcasts and audiobooks. It's a mix of everything, from art career books to electronic music to alternative rock, etc. Just a really good mix of everything that I'm listening to in the studio. Rarely am I in the studio in any kind of silence. The best reaction someone had to my work was in undergrad at Maryland Institute College of Art and Design when Joe Snail said my painting painted itself. I, to this day, don't think I've gotten a better reaction to my paintings. When people look at my work, I hope it takes them to a place outside of my studio. My work is about landscape. There's a lot of emotion and depth in the paintings themselves. I'm very influenced by abstract expressionism, so the work is moody and emotional and is very physical. So I hope people feel that, but mostly what I hope that they take away from it is just something that resonates with themselves, how they recognize themselves in my work or how they recognize a moment in my work.